was, and your mom too, was good friends with my cousin Jimmy. Did your mom ever tell you that? Remember Jimmy?
Yeah, I remember Jimmy. No, yeah, I remember. I remember when he passed too. Aunt Niecy's the one I think who told me about it. She found out before I had found out from you, because I don't think we were really on the best of terms at that point. But that's who I ended up finding out from, was her.
Yeah, Jimmy was a good guy, man. Good fisherman, a lot of fun. He was the best, man. I really miss Jimmy. You know, I didn't realize I miss him so much that I do. You don't know how many times I think of him. Like those times we used to go fishing and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, every time we went out fishing, you'd holler for him, you know. Hey, what does your ALC group go up to? I'm using the ALC group meter. What's yours go up to?
Well, I don't have the group meter because I went back, but all it is 2 readings at once. So my ALC, it goes up to a 0. Now the comp, which is you're going to see above your 0, on AM at the most it goes up to 2.5. Like one line before the 5, never any higher than that. Now on sideband, it'll go up between 5 and 10, but here on AM, most of the time it's either doesn't move or only goes up to the first line.
Okay. Hello, test. See, right now, when I'm talking, I guess ALC compression will go up to about 4 dB at the most. But it's not all the time. It's only on, I guess, certain peaks, you know. But if I put it on ALC group, it goes up to like 10 dB on the ALC group meter. So, I don't know.
Good evening.
Hey, there's Brett. So are you looking at the meter or are you looking at the numbers? Now, mine goes up to, the numbers, goes up to only a 0 or a 2. Now, see, you can't run, I can't run as much of that compression on AM. See, if I turn that up, see, like here, now I'm running, it's reading 5 to 7. That's probably too much, right?
Honestly, I didn't really hear much of a difference. Good evening, Brett.
Yeah, it sounded yucky.
Yeah, there's more of a difference. It's too strong this way. That's why I put it back where I had it. About like that. It's too strong with that much compression. How you been, Brett?
Good. Are you talking about the flex software?
No, this is the Anon.
Okay. Well, I guess it's sort of similar, right?
Nah, it's nothing. It looks the same. The way it looks similar when you look at the face of it, but that's where it stops.
Okay. Yeah, I thought they did a lot better job in the audio department with that than Flex does. But I don't know about the KE9NS for the Flex. I think that's better than the official Flex stuff, but probably not the same as the Anon. I think that radios pretty much work the same, though, don't they? Pretty much.
Nah, I wouldn't say so. They're both SDRs, but that's about where it stops. The Anon, I mean, the menu's like there's hundreds of things you can change. The Flex, very limited, especially in the new Flexes. The older Flexes, at least with that guy's hacked software, you can do a few more things, but, you know, the 3000s, the 5000s, they're getting pretty old in the tooth now. The SDRs have come a long way since those radios are out.
Real quick, what is it? Post EQ gain, which will control the ALC compression?
Yeah, that controls the ALC compression. You shove that up and you'll get more, and you bring it down. Yeah, that controls it.
All right, well, I turned it down because it was going up to like 10. I didn't even notice, and And now I backed it down and it's going up to about a 3, maybe a 4. I don't know if you noticed any difference in my audio.
Yeah, you see, the guys without synchronous, it gets in their face. That's the problem. The diode detectors just can't handle all that audio. So, yeah, and there are so many people that still use conventional receivers today. You're better off staying out of that compression.
All right, well, yeah, I backed way down on it, so maybe that'll help things out a little bit. I didn't realize it. I haven't touched it in so long. I didn't even realize it was, or even looked at the ALC compression in a very long time, so I'll leave it like that. Anyway, that KE9NS software looks cool. I mean, the guy looks like he did a good job with it, but I know absolutely nothing about it. But I love these Anons and what they're doing with the software. You literally can go on the Apache Labs forum in the thread, type in an idea that you want, and they're coming out with updates for this software so fast, 2 or 3 times a week. You come up with an idea, and then next thing you know, boom, it's in the software in a couple days.
Well, if it's a good idea, now some of those ideas are getting in the weeds a little bit. I think they're going to start pulling back just a little bit, because I think some people post things on there just so they can post something. Some of those things are just, the size of this letter or something like that. Give me a break. But it's, it's good. They're very responsive. And if it's a good idea, it'll definitely get put in there. Like with the transmit profiles changing with mode, and that meter combination is a really good idea. So, yeah, it's all fun, man. So, it's not for everybody, because you don't have a manual, you don't have somebody to answer the phone when you call with a problem, and all the rest of it. It's not for everybody, but, it's, there you go. So, what's going on, Brett? Haven't heard you in a while. Sounding good down here, very strong down here in Salem County this afternoon.
Yeah, you're quite strapping, and Perry's not quite as strong. I guess he's a little closer, maybe. So, not much. I have a question for you. When you use the synchronous AM detection and someone is a little bit off frequency, do you get that loud whoop like you do? Some programs do that, and some programs don't. Some is very transparent, and on the KE9NS, at least a version I have, you get a whoop if somebody's a little off frequency. And there's other SDRs, like a little Chinese thing I got, the 928. That just works wonderful, no noise. So it's interesting, it tells you the actual frequency that it's sunk up to. But I'm wondering if the Anon software has that whoop in there. And I noticed the software that I'm using on the Flex 5000 is it got synchronous AM, and you can click on it and it will do double sideband upper or lower, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. The filter look changes, but the audio doesn't seem to change, so it's not really functional, I guess. I don't know if there's an update. I don't know about that. I had fun playing around with that Nuvo 75 until it blew up, or I blew it up, or something. So I ordered another one. That's a pretty amazing kit if you like building little AM transceivers for 80 meters. It's a real fun project. It's not hard. It's not long, and it works amazingly well for a fistful part. And it's pretty ingenious how they you basically solder the case together. So I can't wait to get my new one. But anyway, that's the SDR thing. And the 5000s are pretty out of date, but they're still pretty bargain. I think I got for $1,000 I got the 2 receivers and the antenna tuner, and they can sound. I hear great sounding guys on the 1000. So go figure. W2SDR and group N2DTS.
Well, yeah, I had a 1,000. It depends what your criteria is, Brad. If it's talking to people on 3885 AM, yeah, the 1,000's fine. But it has birdies all over the place when you go in the upper bands, especially if you're trying to pull out weak signals on the upper bands and all that stuff. But if you're just an AMer down here on 75, it's fine. I mean, so, because it's not that demanding here, okay? Or it's not 20 meters during a contest or something like that. So it depends what you're using those radios for. If somebody's far enough off frequency, you could hear it pull in when they key up, but it stays locked into the last guy I talked to. So if you were off frequency from me, it wouldn't, lock every time you keyed up the mic. I mean, it would stay on your frequency. Now, if somebody else came in there 2 or 3 kilohertz high, it's going to go search for him. I mean, there's a time frame, that it takes to find him, and it's like probably a 10, 15 milliseconds. But even 10 or 15 milliseconds of a heterodyne, you're going to hear that. And the selectable sideband for synchronous, you're not going to notice a difference in the audio at all, but what you are going to notice if somebody's close to you. If somebody's real up next to you on the lower side of your carrier, you're going to want to synchronize him with upper sideband. Do you see what I'm saying? Then you will notice the difference. But on a clear frequency like we have right here, you can switch back and forth. You'd never tell. You wouldn't hear any difference in the audio. W2SDR.
Yeah, I realize that. I was talking about, like, if you have somebody that's, 2 kilohertz below you, and you switch to, at least on this software, if you switch to synchronous detection upper sideband, and the filter shows you on, the filter indication on the screen shows you on upper sideband, you still hear the interference like full strength. So it's not actually doing what it shows it's doing.
Yeah, well, I'm not familiar with that, so I can't speak to it. Now, in the Anon, you can choose to transmit on both sidebands or just one sideband. I could go in here and transmit AM on just lower sideband or just upper sideband, which I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but you can, like those old, didn't some of the Heath kits have that, or some of the old AM transmitters, it would only be AM on one sideband?
Yeah, the KWS-1 was like that. And the downside of it was the audio was horrible anyway. So I've heard rigs that can do that sounded pretty good. Like, it didn't really sound bad. I don't think they sound as loud on a normal AM detector. Like, you don't get as much derived audio out of it, but they don't sound bad. But the Collins stuff, it was restricted, it was distorted, and it was one sideband, and it sounded pretty bad.
Okay, now I'm AM just on lower sideband. Could you hear the difference? AM just on lower sideband, over.
Let's see, I'm listening on the flex. No, I didn't hear a difference, but I'm in synchronous. So let me try another transmission. I'm trying on the homebrew, which is the regular, diode detector.
You can see it on the pan adapter. See, now I'm just lower sideband, and now I'm just upper sideband. I haven't done this in a long time. This is just upper sideband, and this is just lower sideband, and now this is both sidebands, W2SDR.
On the homebrew receiver, you sound a little bit fuller on both sidebands, but otherwise, not really any difference, and it certainly isn't objectionable. So, you could be courteous if you had like another QSO that was close to you on 3880. They could do lower sideband, and you could do upper sideband, and think of there would be no interference.
Yeah, well, I narrow my bandwidth up. It's unlike some people to get on 73 or 75 and transmit with 20 kilohertz bandwidth. I mean, it's when it gets crowded at night, man, it's good to be courteous and do what you got to do, to be friendly and good amateur practice. you know, turn your power down from 5,000 watts to legal limit and behave yourself.
Well, it's kind of fun that you can do it, you know. I don't know that normally you would or whatever, but it's nice to have total control.
Yeah, I'm as long as I'm totally in control of my physical being, that I can go to the bathroom, I'm not having accidents. That's the total control I'm in favor of.
Yeah, you don't want any modulation accidents on the band.
Well, I'm gonna listen for a bit here. I don't want to monopolize it too much here. W2SDR.
Good evening, gentlemen. KB8SMU.
Good evening, Shane. W3MMR.
Hi, Shane. Now, when Shane came in there, my synchronous had to go get him because he's about a kilohertz down. So I heard a little bit of a heterodyne for a split second.
Hello, and not all SDR programs do that. That's what I'm wondering, like how they manage to do that without having that audio swoop. The programs that it doesn't do that. And I don't think HD SDR does it, and I don't think SDR console does it. And my little Chinese copy of English QFP SDR doesn't do it, but the Flex does it.
I don't know. It's beyond me.
Could be anything. Maybe those receivers are special.
Yes. Special. I'm special. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all in the program. Somehow they do it in the program. I don't know if they do it a different way, or I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
Maybe they're telling you it's synchronous detection, and it's not really synchronous detection.
Oh, no, it is. And they're well-known programs. As a matter of fact, HDSDR has synchronous detection, and it has another thing where you can pick the sidebands or not. Like one, I think they notch out the carrier completely and insert their own, and I forget what they call that. And the other one is actually synchronous detection, and then you have the normal AM detection. But in no cases when they sync up do you hear anything.
That's very interesting. How about if you tune while you're listening to somebody on synchronous? What does it do then?
I don't remember. I think I don't know. It's the same thing when I do the Chinese thing, I know that. If there's something way off frequency, it'll start making noises in the background, like it's trying to, but normally, like when people key up and come on different, you don't hear it.
I like that noise, Brett. I was watching a horror movie last night. This guy was strangling this woman, and she made exactly that sound.
That's what I was thinking. It sounded like you're dying.
I watched the original.
He was like sitting in the parking lot waiting. He got there a little early, and he's watching a movie on his phone, and during like an action scene or something, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, there's cars crashing and chasing on the screen, and he hears this big crash like behind him, and he's like, "Whoa! Like, wait a minute!" Turn around, and the dude was like whipping, like a garbage truck through the parking lot and hit a pole. I was like, oh my God. So there was that going on this morning. It was crazy. It was pretty hectic when I got there. W2BTK.
So did the guy think it was on his phone as part of the movie?
We don't know. He's like, he got out of the truck and asked like the dudes who were running up, like, yo, what did I hit? And like they're like, so I don't know what the hell was going on. He was there. They were just like moving. I don't know. There's like all this stuff getting moved around right now.
How about that?
I'm lost.
Well, it's just, you know, people today, it's like Can you imagine everybody, like if you walked into Walmart or something? I was there today buying the cat hut supplies. And like some of these people, they look so out of it. I like to gather a group of like 50 of them and like put them through testing just to see what the story is on them.
It's funny you said that, because I was at Walmart buying this monitor today, and I was thinking the exact opposite. I was like, man, I'm not seeing all these wackos that I normally see at Walmart. All these people seem pretty normal today.
Well, I got to start visiting that Walmart, because I feel like I'm halfway normal. I felt like the most well-adjusted person in Salem County today.
Either they're elevating or you're descending.
Well, I think it's the latter, Brett.
Agreed.
It's enough. It's time for you to reboot, buddy.
No rebooting. My audio is not sizzling anymore.
Tubes. Reboot those tubes.
The tubes are warming up. Warming up?
Yeah, you need tubes.
Warming up.
Maybe I'll get all my tube radios in a minute. I don't know. It gets hot though.
Yeah, I gotta set up there. Now I got another monitor. I can set up my other computer at the operating position. Things, always something to do. But maybe I'll switch over.
Well, most of the time I hear you now, you're on the Anon. I hardly ever hear you on that DX100 anymore. What's going on?
I don't know. Multiple radios. Too much, I don't know. Plenty of time to operate all of them. I'm not dying anytime soon, I don't think.
I'll tell you, the SDRs just work so damn good. I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's cool, the other stuff and everything, but I mean, you know, these cotton pickers just flat out work.
That doesn't look like you work.
Oh, Perry's there is. You should have seen that thing when he got it and see it now. It's the definition of cool.
Well, it's a very run-of-the-mill transmitter, you know, common run-of-the-mill. I mean, I had one, and they're great, you know, for that kind of thing. But man, I wouldn't want to use that either in the modern age. I don't know. It's hard to go back once you do SDR.
Nah, I agree with you. The same with cars. I mean, you put things in different perspectives and what they are and why you use them and everything. I mean, you know, it's just that, you know, it's the same old good old days thing, Brett. You know, you want to go back and drive a 57 Chevy? I mean, they're cool. Compare that to a modern hot rod? You got to be kidding me. You know, I mean, those old cars are like go-karts, you know, in comparison, but... You know, but it's just the vintage thing, you know.
Well, that's why I have both. That's why I have the Anon and I have the run-of-the-mill DX100 over there. You know, because the DX100 is in such good shape. I can go in there, turn it on whenever, at any time. It's going to sound exactly the same. You don't have to be tweaking it and retuning it and, you know, always adjusting the VFO and, you know, rigging it up to get it on the air. If I want to use it, flip the switch, power it on, turn the receiver on, and everything works perfect every time I turn it on. And then I can come on to this.
But that's what I do
on the internet or something.
I sit here on one channel.
One thing,
I do exactly that. I come in and I just fire it on and everything works perfect.
Sound good, but a push of a button. You know, it's the best of both worlds in my opinion. But you know, everybody's got their own opinions, and everybody's got their own things of what they like. So.
Well, that doesn't sound like the typical DX100.
Yeah, I haven't touched that DX100 in, I don't know, since the last time I did a modification to it 5 months ago. I sit there, I can turn it on. It always puts out 110 watts of carrier every time I key the thing up. It's always right on 3885 where I left it. I never have to retune it, you know. The only time I ever retune it is if I accidentally bump it, you know, bump one of the knobs. But besides that, the thing stays exactly where I put it.
And how does it sound?
Sounds good. I'll go on it right now. Hold on.
I'm going to switch radios too. I'm going to warm up the other side of the